money.
This is Zip Squad, bitch.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
Holy shit, it's been way too long. Welcome. We are Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the voices of the squared circle. This is a wrestling show by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Yes.
Fucking A right.
Hell yeah. And by the way,
yes.
It is great to be back.
I know.
Pinnacle rides again.
Yes, we do.
FTR is back in the building.
Here we are, boys.
Joining me.
The fearsome threesome.
Joining me, as always, is our Tully, the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Hashtag the vibe, Grandma. Oh, hold on. Miss Latina Heat, Grandma Wendy. God damn.
There we go.
You just
I have a lot of names.
you just keep stacking them up.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mama, see now, we got.
Oh,
And also joining me, like always, because if he wasn't here, the show wouldn't get recorded.
no show.
Honestly,
None.
the producer, the soundboard extraordinaire, the jack of all trades, the master of zero, Dom.
In other words, I'm the whole fucking show.
Wow. Went there, huh?
I did.
He did shamelessly.
And unapologetically. What's up, y'all?
And me,
That guy.
the guy that brought the show in. I am none other than the MJF Mark, old school scarf wearing.
Gotta get that boy some silk.
Gotta give me some silk. Gotta give me some silk.
Yeah, we do.
MJF scarf wearing, high class one, Bruce.
Also known as Bruce.
Better than you. And you know it, I'm better than.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do.
See?
Holy shit, it feels like it's been forever.
I know.
Because it has.
It really has. I mean, we had Brucey on the watch along for a while, and then the high class family got ill. We had to miss him for the Dream Team episode, which,
God.
again, thank you to everybody that did show up, because Clark Street and Suplex killed it, especially Gonzalo. He was on fire.
Oh, Gonzalito's like a what's the word? Like a wrestling scholar. Like he's
He
like
really
like
is.
the
He's an
professor of
aficionado,
wrestling.
man.
Yes.
It was like he
I
won.
felt
He
like-
won one Universal title at WrestleMania, and his whole life changed.
Everything just opened up.
You're welcome,
Whole new
Gonzalo.
worlds opened up to him.
Once again, you get that relevancy rub from the Psycho. That's all. So our first topic is Roman Reigns. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No
Just because
more.
we took some time to talk about TakeOver and WrestleMania does not mean we're going to immediately just be sucking from the teat of WWE at all times. In fact, part of me has missed talking about AEW. I don't know about anybody else, but part of me has kind of
Definitely.
missed talking about AEW.
Greatly.
So before
you
we
not
do
miss
anything else, I know we had some stuff planned, but fuck it. Before we do anything else, can we just take a moment and discuss this promo war that's been going on while we've been doing takeover watch-alongs and WrestleManias and all this other shit between MJF and Chris Jericho? I also wanted to start here because Brucey's back. But can we please talk about that for a minute? Because the last week or two, those promos have probably been better than anything on Monday night outside of Elevation. Mm-hmm. At me all you want.
Dude, there's no coming at anybody because it's the truth. Like, this is like, these two going at it promo-wise is like The Rock and Stone Cold going at it in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
If you just stop it and you want to compare it to something,
You really can, though.
that's the promos that we're getting out of MJF and Jericho right now.
You really truly can, though,
I'll
because
wait for
Jericho has
Dynamite.
definitely got that Stone Cold vibe, and MJF certainly has that Rock vibe with all his fancy shit. You know?
Man,
Definitely.
goddamn, he's the real goat of wrestling.
mean,
he's
while
gonna
we were-
carry that fat tub of goo through that friggin' match, blood and guts.
Now watch what you say about our goat.
But it's true.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get some cheap heat.
But he wouldn't even be in this
I love
position.
Jericho.
He wouldn't
He's
even be in this position without that fat tub of goo. That might not be any of my business. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
No, while we were doing the takeover watch along or right afterwards, we were watching Takeover Night 1. Jericho was just laying waste to MJF on Dynamite at the same time. And I was almost mad I missed it when I went back and watched it because god damn. Just all you're gonna steal all my gimmicks. You got the scarf. You're doing this and that. I probably got a clipboard in the back if you want to borrow that.
Bro, I died when he said
I was like,
that.
oh shit. And MJF came back and slayed him. It's just going back and forth, and it's like, not only is this better than most of what's happening Mondays, but I'm almost more into this than I am the actual blood and guts match.
Seriously.
I'm sitting there last
can't
night
wait.
waiting for Dynamite. Like, what the fuck are they gonna say? What the fuck are they gonna say? You know?
Last night solidified that Wardlow is no longer an insurance policy.
You
He
once
is
again,
actually part of Pinnacle. He's
You
not
once
an
again
insurance
read my mind.
policy
Yeah.
no more.
because since we're catering to you, I was going to cater to Wendy too and throw in the fact that like Wardlow cut a promo and it was actually very good. I was surprised considering he's
Surprise,
been in AEW
bitches.
for so long and he said like next to nothing.
Yep.
And all of a sudden he had like a few minute promo where he blasted Jericho and I thought to myself, this dude talks? And he does it well. Like wow, why haven't you done this before? And I love Grandma's reaction. She's like, of course I knew. How the hell did you know?
Because I retroactively have watched his matches and his promos.
Okay.
I did the Mark thing.
Okay,
and I
fair
looked him up,
enough.
and I was
Fair
like,
enough.
Oh, hey.
Well, then she knew. Okay, I
I
stand
did my
corrected.
research on my man's.
I, on the other hand, was blown away because he's not my man. So.
Fair enough.
I almost got her to spit the drink out of that Top Rope Wrestling Talk
Nice.
mug. Which
This
you can
mug right
find
here?
right here
right there.
at TRWT merch.
Yes, look at that. Plug number 1.
Bang, bang.
Cheap plugs.
Oh, but yeah, it was amazing. I didn't know he could speak, so he blew me away.
Oh,
And-
I mean,
and-
let's be real. We knew he could speak. We just didn't know he could cut
Yes.
a promo.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. I figured he could talk. I didn't know he could cut a promo. Thank you. I stand corrected again. That's 2 now. And I was blown the fuck away. I was like, wow, they need to let this guy do this more often. But Bruce is absolutely right. I think this kind of proves that Wardlow is an official member of the Pinnacle. Like, he's not anybody's insurance policy or lackey or whatever in this group. He is a full-fledged member, and I'm digging that. Like, I think he's a pretty decent worker. He can obviously cut a promo now. We figured that out. So let him go. Let him shine. You know, let these guys like Spears and Wardlow, who haven't gotten a lot of shine, get the opportunity to run with something, because they probably deserve it at this point.
I think that's going to be one of the great things about the Pinnacle, that we will be able to see these guys finally showcase what they can do, you know?
Oh, no, absolutely. Like, number one answer.
I was actually just thinking, like, just because of the past and how AEW will use the past in their storylines, what if Wardlow turns on the Pinnacle and MJF in Blood and Guts?
And like goes off on his own, or joins another group?
I think just goes on his own, or goes or he joins the Inner Circle.
That would be crazy.
I don't see him joining the Inner Circle. I do see him going off on his own, though, which would be great for him.
Yeah,
it would be great for him. It would kind of suck for the Pinnacle. Well, because you're taking what is essentially the muscle of the group and just taking it right out from the get-go.
It was never called the Five Horsemen.
No, it wasn't. But the Four Horsemen also have more than 4 people attached to it at almost every point.
At any given time, yeah.
There might have been 4 horsemen, but there were always, you know, people around them.
Like
J.J.
subsidies.
Dillon's, Barry Windham's, that kind of stuff.
But there was actually only 4 true horsemen.
Right. But I just, you know, they can play with it a little bit, since they're not calling themselves the Horsemen either.
No, I know. I'm just throwing shit out there.
I mean, it's not like they called themselves Evolution or anything, you know. But yeah, I thought we should start there, because I definitely miss Brucey, and I knew it would make him happy. And
that was fucking awesome.
And from there,
wrestling god.
Oh man, from one mark to the next, we're out of the fire, we're into the inferno.
Listen,
Burberry Inferno.
I'm your guys' fucking hell forever.
That's true. I'm telling you, Wendy and Hafiz and I are going to start a support group. You watch. But yeah,
instead of Al-Anon, it's a Mark-Anon.
Mark-Anon. Hi, I'm Dom, and I co-host with a Mark. Hi, Dom.
Has your life been impacted by friends or family members who are Marks?
Fuck yeah.
We're going to record it and put it all on a Patreon. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, we should start that, shouldn't we?
I guess at some point. Not a big deal. But yeah, you know, bees that I brought up Mondays, I think we need to talk about the shit that started at WrestleMania that's continued on through Raw that's actually like kind of worth dealing with. Oh, and that's this Alexa Bliss debacle from the Fiend, from her separation from the Fiend into what we've seen now. And again, I'm doing this to make Brucey happy because you can see him below me just, yeah! I knew I loved Dom for some reason.
No, that was I'm pissed off about it.
But that's what makes you happy too, because you're like, I'm so fucking mad, this is great. Being that he's so fucking mad, and being that he had a week off, we're just gonna let Brucey run with it. What do you think of this whole Alexa Bliss like swerve at Mania leading into what we've seen on Raw, and where the fuck could this possibly be going?
So, after she came out at WrestleMania and had the black shit run down her face, my instant thought was, oh my god, she turned on the Fiend, and now we're gonna get Aleister Black versus the Fiend,
which would have been cool.
And she would have been running with Aleister Black, and they could have got him back into the dark character that he was in NXT.
Right.
But because WWE is so smart and I'm so stupid, they decided to go in a completely different route. And I think it was in Messenger in our message that we were talking about it, and I said, oh, how did I say it? I said that's what it is. She's basically the Bray Wyatt or Fiend of the women's division now.
Yes.
And it took that happening, like, okay, cool, we knew she was going to be in the women's division anyways, because obviously, but her character was more intriguing, and it had more questions that needed to be answered with her being with Bray Wyatt. But now that she's on her own and she has a doll that told her to do this stuff, like
Lily.
So Lily didn't like him. It just seems too forced now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but I shouldn't be surprised. They
No,
kill
you're definitely
everything
not
good.
wrong. Like, especially when you're sitting there and you're saying that she's becoming the Fiend of the women's division. That was happening long before WrestleMania. I mean, if anybody goes back to that match she had with Asuka, where she would just hold her hands up and transform like 5 or 6 times in the match until she finally beat her.
Yeah.
Like, she was already becoming the Fiend of the women's division on Raw, WWE, whatever you want to call it. So they didn't need this in order to make her that, because she already was. So I have no idea why the fuck they did it. The only idea, like you brought up Aleister Black, and when I brought him up,
fucking amazing.
When I brought him up on the WrestleMania special, Devin had said to me, and I totally forgot about it until you brought him up, but he had said to me, they're talking about repackaging and putting Aleister Black back out there. So that could still be a possibility.
He's gonna be a hipster.
Oh God, no! Please, no! No, God, no! No!
What if this whole Lilith character is leading to someone being called up from NXT, but the question is who?
Who?
Is Xavier Woods on the show?
I wish.
I'm not even wearing my New Day tee.
I don't even have my trombone. But no, I'm seriously, are they going to repackage Aleister Black and put him in this feud somewhere, whether it's on Alexa's side or like with the Fiend? Because the first thought that I had after all this came out, like we saw WrestleMania, then the Raw afterwards, the first thought I had was they're going to let Bray Wyatt go. Because they're passing this gimmick on to her. And then they're going to look at Bray Wyatt and say, good luck in your future endeavors. Go join your brother in the unemployment line.
That would be...
And that would be terrible. But they've already kind of ruined that gimmick with all the... As Devin and I talked about, with all the times they've buried it between Goldberg, Randy Orton twice now.
Now, let's stop here for a moment. Mm-hmm. How many times was The Undertaker buried? And he still kept the same mystique and the same everything. So that can't be used for the Fiend, because the Fiend is supposed to be the character is supposed to be along the same lines as the Undertaker, like character wise, not. But
it was just when the Fiend came back from being set on fire and he actually looked like himself at WrestleMania. You thought to yourself, oh, like we said on the watch long, he's going to come back stronger than he ever was, and yada yada yada, and then he lost. And you're like, wait, that's not how it works. Because, every time The Undertaker got buried, he came back, and he came back with a vengeance. He never lost after he got buried. The Fiend just did. And then the following night, all he did was some little funhouse thing where he was just goofy kid Bray saying some random shit about how witches be tripping.
Essentially, yeah.
And so... why I get what you're saying with The Undertaker, that does not appear to be what's happening with the Fiend on Mondays right now.
Yeah.
So it almost makes me think, like, what if they just pass this gimmick along and they tell Bray to just get the fuck out?
I don't think they would tell him to GTFO.
No, he makes him way too much money. He sells way too much merchandise, and he makes way too much money.
Okay,
For that
fair
company.
enough.
I mean,
I'm
damn
not-
it, they were
I'm not
selling
gonna-
his
I couldn't
title for
dispute that.
fucking $10,000.
Well, they were
That's
for a
true.
while,
And that thing was
then,
fugly as sin.
I think right after maybe the Hell in a Cell match, it went from like $10,000 to like $300, like the next day. It was like he had the no contest with Seth Rollins, and that price dropped. Just
Yeah, because they basically screwed him. Wait, did he win that one? I don't remember anymore.
no, remember it was they actually ended the Hell in a Cell match in a no contest, and everybody was
Yes, yeah,
booing
you literally just
and
said
chanting
it too.
for refunds
Good
and
job
all
paying
that
attention,
shit.
Wendy.
And literally the following Monday, the title was $10,000 on Sunday. On Monday morning, it was $300.
It was $300, yeah.
It was like Kmart blue light special. We gotta clear these.
We gotta get rid of all these things.
We gotta get rid of all this shit.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what happened to him.
I mean, I personally love the gimmick. I love the Fiend. I'm a fan of Bray Wyatt. I've been since he came in, but
I just hate how they constantly screw him. Like, he's supposed to be, like we said, this mythical character that's amazing, but they keep dicking him around.
he's supposed to be what he said he was going into that WrestleMania match with The Undertaker. He's supposed to be
Yes.
the new face of fear. And every time you think he's getting there, they screw him over and knock him down 10 or 20 pegs, and
Yep.
then expect him to build back up. And it's like, how?
Yeah. Like, I don't know what y'all want from me. Like,
Because if you haven't, because I've also said it a few times here recently, because I've been watching a lot leading into WrestleMania, a lot more than I was. WWE Creative has definitely gotten to be a little bit weird with their stories. They're very backwards.
inconsistent.
They're very
Yeah.
backwards. Like I think I brought it up here where Bobby Lashley beats Sheamus clean in a knockdown drag out match one Monday on main event. They lead off the next Monday at the top of the show with the same match, and Bobby needs help, and then he's complaining that he don't need help and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, you do this one first, then you come back and you do that. You don't. And then he got rid of the guys from the Hurt Business, but now it looks like the guys from Retribution are fucking helping him.
There's no rhyme or reason to what creative is doing right now.
Because-
I mean, and
I know we didn't watch a lot of Raw, and I skimmed through it myself, but T-Bar and Mace just got more time on Raw last week than they did in the entire time they were in Retribution.
I don't think they're T-Bar and Mace anymore. They took their masks off.
Well, they got demasked that night, but going into that, they were T-Bar and Mace, and they took like a chunk out of Raw on Monday night. And you thought, like, where was all this airtime when they were actually in a fucking faction? Or when they broke up? Because nobody even mentioned it until like weeks later when Ali was fighting Riddle.
I didn't even know they broke up.
Exactly, because they didn't fucking mention it.
Oh, they broke up on Saturday Night Main Event.
No, they broke up on Fastlane.
yeah. And then, like, what was it at the Andre the Giant Memorial? Like, he basically threw out Retribution, and then was it Ali who threw out Retribution? I think that's
It
what
was. It was.
Yeah. And he
I-
wasn't even like, I'm sorry. He was just like, that's what you get. I was like, is this how we're announcing the breakup?
No, that had been happened. That was like the month before.
Yeah.
But nobody knew because most people didn't watch Fastlane, and then they didn't bring it up on a show leading into WrestleMania until the Andre Battle Royal, and then that's when people started to say, "Oh shit, Retribution broke up," and I'm like, "Yeah, I knew that like last month."
That's when people finally realized it, and it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, what? Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
had a good
And even
thing
then, nobody
going.
cared.
They had a good thing going with that, and then nothing. Nothing at all.
I was gonna say, did they really though? Like,
They
the
could have
storyline
had a
went
good thing
nowhere.
going.
when it first started, like when they were coming out in the hoodies and stuff like that, like, okay, I can get behind this. And all of a sudden, they come out with masks and T-bars and
terrible names.
Slapjack and I'm so
Slap
glad Slap Nut and sour cream and onion and
Slap.
It was just bad.
You know,
yeah,
teabag.
yeah, teabag.
I mean, it honestly went nowhere fast.
Nope.
And Mia Yim was like the first casualty of that group. Like,
Oh,
she
God,
was
yeah.
just, she was gone long before they broke up, and then they were just
No,
like,
that was Mercedes Martinez.
oh, that's right, she was the
Oh,
first.
yeah.
She was the first one gone. She
Triple
was
H
the first
like,
one.
yeah,
and
no,
then,
I'm gonna keep her in NXT.
yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need her back. And now she's in a kind of a rivalry with Raquel Gonzalez over the NXT Women's title, which should be kind of cool. But yeah,
should be
immediately, like
interesting.
shortly after, I forgot about Mercedes, but yeah, she was the first, and then Mia was shortly after that, and then months later they just got rid of the whole thing. And honestly,
But, like, that
a lot
tells
of
you
people
just how
didn't even
bad it
realize.
was. That tells you just how bad like this whole Retribution thing was, that we forgot Mercedes was in it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't forget.
I totally forgot. That's hi, I'm the South Philly Psycho, and I forgot.
It's all good.
You're not alone, because I forgot to.
Yeah, like it took
well.
me a minute to remember that they named Mia Yim like Reckoning or Reconditioning or something. I don't.
I
Something.
think it was
something
air
weird.
conditioning.
Something with an R. It
Something
was like
like that, yeah.
refrigeration or
Regrets.
yeah, regret, remorse, return.
Something like that.
Resurface.
Yeah. Repackage.
Repurpose.
Rebrand.
There you go. That's a
There
good
it is.
one.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh. But
So-
yeah, it's just, it's weird. It's so weird what they're doing with stories in WWE. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Everything's so ass backwards, and it's got all this random stuff where if they stop, you think like, oh, this is a cool moment, but they just take it a little further.
Yeah.
Can we talk about not just that it was WrestleMania season, but it was just
Cutting
future
season.
future endeavor season?
Cutting season, yes.
It was cutting.
I was
season.
actually, again, it's like he knows that I'm segueing into these things because I was going to say, and then of course we had, the people that did get repackaged or repurposed, they got released.
Yes.
So the first one right off the friggin' top, because that's the one that everyone's talking the most about, is like Samoa Joe. Like he got pulled from commentary, and everyone was like, he got pulled, he's gonna have a return, we're gonna get him versus Roman.
Well, that was the thing. They had reported all over, and it was dirt sheets, don't get me wrong, but there were multiple reports saying that Joe was coming off the table because Joe was going to be back in the ring. And I think I told the entire WrestleMania group that was doing the show, he's coming back. Like,
All
this
of
is
us
great.
thought that. We were
and
all
a lot of
excited.
us were excited. And then within a day or two of that, there were reports that he was released.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, so you just brought dude from Sports Center in to take over for...
Who has
Joe.
no idea what he's doing? BT Dubs.
And you brought Corey Graves over, and you got rid of Joe. Why?
Yeah.
to make room for Pat
You brought
McAfee.
Corey Graves
Yeah.
over.
Because
brought
we
Corey
got to
Graves
get
over
Pom
to
Blanco
carry
on
a
the
guy from
table.
ESPN.
God damn it, Pom Blanco should be with his faction in NXT right now.
Pom Blanco is going to be the new Jerry the King
Should.
Lawler. If you fuck with him at the table, he's going to challenge you to a
God.
match.
But that's a match I'd want to
That's
see.
gonna be great.
I don't know if I'd want to see it, but it's going to happen.
I'm all about it.
And then, there was also, my wishful thinking tag team at WrestleMania, the Iconics.
Yeah.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Well, at least now maybe they could be a tag team someplace else. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to say it, but I'm watching them now, and Impact does have a Knockouts tag division.
I was gonna say I would love it if they showed up at Impact together.
and they're
But-
having trouble coming up with contenders for the Impact for the Knockouts tag title. Like they keep going back to the same, couple of teams because they still need to build that division a little bit, especially since, by the way, shout out to Jazz who had her last match and retired finally after a 20+ year career. I love that woman. Like that was my personal Chyna because I could watch her from the front row, gorilla pressing grown men. And throwing them out of the ring and through tables and shit in her prime. And for fuck's sake, that woman was amazing. And even when she went to Impact, she was still great. It was just time. She said, my body is giving out. I'm still willing, but I can't handle it anymore. I gotta go. And I'm sitting there like tears in my eyes, like, I miss you.
She was one of those wrestlers who like gave so much of herself in the ring and out of it. And it's like, yeah, she did a lot for women's wrestling, and it's one of those people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, she's one of the pioneers of modern wrestling.
If you're a fan of women's wrestling, you appreciate her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if you're a wrestling fan, you appreciate her because that woman is is and was amazing. Forever amazing.
Agreed.
And so I'm gonna miss her like crazy. This type shit I couldn't talk about because I've been sitting here talking about NXT and WWE for a couple of weeks.
For too damn long.
So thank you, Jazz, for a great career, for breaking barriers, for setting standards that people still can't match up to today, for real. But yeah, as far as the Iconics go, they'd be a perfect fit in the Knockouts tag division. I think they should definitely go to Impact.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm. It makes total sense for them to go to Impact, but you also got to remember Cassie Lee's husband works for AEW and is in Pinnacle.
This is true.
And
this is true.
Now,
but they've been working separately for a while now, so
unwillingly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
unwillingly.
Okay, maybe a little unwillingly.
Just because one spouse is in one place doesn't mean they both have to be there.
No, it doesn't.
Britt and Adam can make it work, that's all.
It doesn't. But
they're role models. Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there, that he does work there. What if we got the Iconics paired up with the role model?
I think I would need AEW to come up with a better women's tag division for them to truly truly excited about them coming in, because the only like true women's tag team that they had, hey, little demon, all right, demon sighting. There he is. I love that kid. Sorry, but the only true team they had were Ivelisse and Diamante, and now one of them's gone.
Well, she did that shit to herself.
Well, I know she blames Thunder Rosa, but we all know what happened. We all saw the footage. We know what happened. It is not the first time that somebody said Ivelisse is tough to work with. As much as I love her, it's not the first time. Like,
no,
I'm not going to be a mark about it. I'm gonna keep it 100. She's a little bit of a pain in the ass behind the scenes, and it gets her into some shit.
She's a little difficult. That's all.
Just this much. just a smidge.
Just
really.
A little.
a tidbit. Difficult. I love her, but a tidbit, and it cost her in this situation. So without some semblance of a tag division, I don't know how it would really work for the Iconics to go there.
Why? That's pretty much all. That's what they did in NXT. They were singles wrestlers paired together. There was no tag titles in NXT when they were there. It's the same gimmick.
But they were so good as a tag team when they were brought up. Like, I think they should definitely go to Impact because there is a women's tag division.
Yeah, like they have the foundation and the titles in a tag division at Impact. They just need to grow it a little bit.
Yes.
And to bring the Iconics in would certainly help them do that. Like they're a few steps ahead, and since we know Impact and AEW are working together, it might be a little easier for the happy couple
crossing
to
over
one another than it is for her working at WWE when he's been thrown out.
Yeah.
Who else got released? Tucker.
Oh, there were a lot. There was Tucker.
There's a
there was
lot,
Mojo. Chelsea Green got released.
Chelsea Green, she just signed like a 5-year deal
not
like
only
last year.
not only did she just resign, but if my memory serves
just
me
got
correct,
cleared to come back too.
But if my memory serves me correct, because it's been a while, Chelsea Green, I remember obviously she was in NXT. She had started to help build the Robert Stone brand, and then she got called up, and Robert Stone got left in NXT, and I haven't seen him for a while. But I never actually saw her debut on a main roster. Once she got the call up, I don't remember her having a single match.
She did.
I remember
her
her pool was in a segment with Otis and Mandy, but she
had
wasn't
one
in
match.
it.
She got called up for one match and got hurt and has been out with injury.
Okay, I didn't even remember that one match, to be honest.
Yeah, she broke her arm or had to have.
I knew that she had
surgery
gotten hurt, but I thought she had gotten hurt doing something on like Main Event or some kind of secondary show, because I did not remember her like on a Raw or a SmackDown having a match once she got called up. Like Mercedes Martinez
I
got
found
more
the-
airtime.
Sure. I found the list of this cutting season's cut wrestlers.
Oh, really?
Samoa Joe that we just discussed.
Yeah, we got to dive into him. now.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, the Iconics.
Right.
Mickey James.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea
Oh.
Green, Tucker, Callisto, Wesley Blake,
Yeah,
he
the
was
guy
part of
from the
Forgotten
Forgotten
Sons.
Mojo
Sons.
Rawley.
Cutler
and that's it.
Cutler and Blake
Yeah, and that's
were the
that's
two
the
guys
list.
in the Forgotten Sons with Jackson Riker. And Riker was the one that got in all that shit during, all the riots and pandemic by supporting the president. But they kept him around, and they got rid of his two tag team cohorts who actually did all the wrestling. You can take
Yeah,
that
that's what they
however you
mentioned.
want to
They're
take it. But for
That's what they
me,
mentioned. In this article, they're like, after Jackson Riker's controversial comments got the Forgotten Sons taken off television, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler would not appear on WWE programming again until they were hired as henchmen for King Corbin
Yep.
as the Knights of the Lone Wolf.
Yep.
Cutler was then cut on February 4th, and Blake was off television once again. Oh yeah,
Yep.
Bo Dallas. Shit, I forgot about Bo
Yeah,
Dallas.
Bo Dallas too.
Bo Dallas, yeah. I brought that one up when we were talking about The Fiend, because that's what made me think that maybe The Fiend would be
Whoa.
next.
I didn't realize he hasn't wrestled since November 13th, 2019.
Who? Bo Dallas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a while. When they said he was cut originally, I think we were talking about it during the WrestleMania special, and I was like, I didn't even know he was still on the roster until I heard he was cut.
It's almost
he
a
hadn't.
year and a half.
Yeah, he hadn't wrestled in like 5 ever.
He hasn't had a match since Curtis Axel got let go.
Nope. Not at all. So I don't know why they didn't just let him go.
It's okay. Mama's gonna make you some water.
But
Make you some bubble.
yeah, I we talked about the Iconics a little bit, but where do you think Samoa Joe will end up?
I could see him in Japan or back in Impact.
Yeah,
Maybe even
That's what I was gonna
ROH.
say.
yeah. I mean,
No, not ROH. ROH is
when I
going
look at-
nowhere right now.
when I look at Joe, I think of Christian because their situations are similar. Joe wants to get back in the ring. He's cleared to wrestle. WWE won't let him. So maybe there was some idea, some notion of him coming back, and WWE nixed it last minute, and he just said, you know what, fuck it, let me go. I'll go somewhere where I can, like Christian.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means like Christian he'll end up in AEW, but I could definitely see him going back to Impact. I think they could use him well. They obviously already did.
Agreed.
And I kind of would like to see him in AEW because some of those matchups are interesting to say the least. Say Cody comes back and Joe shows up and chokes him the fuck out. That would be great.
Yes.
Like the only thing is Impact is starting to get very full. Not Impact, but AEW. AEW is starting to get
AEW
very
is
full.
definitely-
very
full.
full. But now we did find out, thanks to the Hobo Clown the other day, that AEW is getting another hour on TNT. He's not sure if they're going to add it to
Yeah.
Dynamite or if they're going to create another hour-long show on TNT, but they're getting another hour. So this means they could, use some more wrestlers in places and on TV, which is nothing but good for that roster right now. Because they have so many people that can absolutely go and have proved it. Kind of like Ty Conti last night. I'm just saying.
That match was off the
That was a
chain.
good ass match.
I have
my
been saying
God.
I have been saying Ty Conti is amazing since before she debuted, since she was in the Mae Young Classic, and people were like, "Oh, you just like her because she's hot," and you're not wrong, but she's fucking amazing. We talked about this already. Like, yeah, I think she's hot, but at the same time, this woman can wrestle.
Yeah, I asked
And she
the
proved
question.
it on national TV. I've been seeing it, Watch It Dark and seeing her here and there. And then now she's gotten on TNT and had these matches with like Thunder Rosa, Nyla, and Sheeta. She's damn good. And I'm sorry, I think Brucey was going to bring up the question he asked last night.
Yeah, I asked it in the thread. I was like, so why did WWE get rid of Ty Conti? Like, why?
Is there morons?
Because, God damn it, she could be at the top of the mountain on Raw or SmackDown. Like,
She coulda.
Her and Bianca could have a fucking hell of a match.
No, it's absolute fact. I don't know exactly why, but my guess for WWE getting rid of her is simple. You're fucking stupid is the
That
problem.
was new.
Essentially, yeah.
No, that was
Whoa, you had a virgin. What?
Wow.
you're an idiot and a virgin, WWE. What the fuck were you thinking?
No, they had a hand.
But it's just like you get to a certain point where you've got so many people and you think, well, we don't need her.
Yeah, right?
But the problem is you don't know if you need her or not because you've never given her any opportunity.
They had her coming out in a karate gi and
Yeah. Which I get
Yeah,
because
that
she's
was-
like she's a judo specialist and that type of
I
stuff. But
get
so
it,
is
too.
Ronda Rousey, but you didn't have her coming out in a fucking gi, now did you? And no offense, but Ty is a lot hotter than Ronda. I'm sorry, I said it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Nothing. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm feeling better because I'm
someone
getting
said otherwise,
feisty.
they're retards.
You can tell I'm starting to recover because I'm getting feisty about it. Like it's just amazing that like you immediately say, oh, we don't need this person, but you never gave that person an opportunity, so you have no clue. So you let them go, and then they go someplace else, and they look good like Ty does on Dynamite. Now maybe you got a problem, but you didn't know because you never even gave him a chance. Chelsea Green is another one. Did WWE ever really give her a chance?
No.
No.
Not really.
And
They
she
had her job out to
trademarked-
Charlotte a few times.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna go back to Impact because she just filed for trademark for Hot Mess.
Yes. I saw that.
Laurel Van Ness. Yes, I remember that. And not only that, her man is an Impact. So, as you said for Peyton and Sean, it would make sense for her to go where her man is.
Yeah.
And
But
she'd
why
make
does that
a-
have to matter? Like, I'm sorry. It bothers
No,
me
you're fine.
so
Say
much
it.
that everybody is like, oh well, if this female wrestler, her man is at this promotion, then she should join. She's her own fucking person. She's her own fucking wrestler. She can go wherever the hell she wants, and who cares where her man is? No one does this to Diamante and what's her lesbian lover's name? I can't
Kiera.
remember. Nobody does it to them. So why do we keep doing it to the hetero couples?
No, you're right.
I
And,
didn't-
and,
Do
and
whatever
I
she
want you
wants.
I want you to notice that at one point I said Peyton could go wherever the fuck she wants, and that it would make sense for her to go where her man is. So I'm neutral.
It's mostly directed
I'm
at,
Cesaro.
I see
I'm
it like
Switzerland in this shit.
I
I'm just
see this in like every wrestling group I'm in. Oh well, her man is here, so that's where she's going.
right.
No,
And sometimes
no,
it doesn't make
you-
sense. You're absolutely right. Sometimes the
Fucking
person needs to
assholes.
go wherever the fuck it makes sense for them.
Wherever they
And not where their
Exactly.
man is. Like Tia Trinidad, if Aleister Black gets released and he gets signed before she does, which will be a fucking crime, but if that happens and she doesn't want to show up wherever the fuck he is, good for her.
I actually think she's making a shit ton of money on her friggin'
What, her Twitch?
On
her
everything
her
else.
gaming and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's got the Rusev plan in full effect. You know, or should I say the Miro plan in full effect. She got the Twitch going, she got the money coming in, you know. More power to her. But I'm just saying, like, if she goes somewhere and Aleister Black doesn't want to go or vice versa, good for her. Fuck it. Like, who cares? It's your career. Make a decision for
exactly.
you. You know? I've worked with my wife before and it wasn't that fun. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't that fun.
Jose and I have worked together before, but we kept a certain level of professionalism, and we didn't work together because it was like, oh, well, he's there, so I'm going to work there too. No, not at all. We just happened to have worked at the same place, and we kept professionalism, and a lot of people didn't even realize we were together.
Right.
So
And I'm
there's
sure
that.
that when you got another job, you weren't like, well, I guess I should stay here because Jose's here. You know?
Exactly. Pretty much. But no, to the original point. It's frustrating me, and it's making me angry every time I see that. I'm like, are people really this stupid that that's what they think?
No. For some of us, not always. Not always. I went on both sides. Again, I'm Cesaro. I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral. With Peyton, I was like, go wherever the fuck it makes sense for you to be in a tag team. With Chelsea, I'm like, I could see her going to Impact because, you know, Cardona's there. That makes sense. Plus, she's on top of that, she's also a very tall, you know, big Amazon-looking woman, and Impact has a lot of them. So she would kind of fit right in with that Knockouts division where AEW, yeah, they got a couple. You know, it'd be kind of cool to see her go against like Chris Statlander or Jade Cargill or whatever. But you put her in a ring with Rio, you're gonna be laughing.
Yeah, I know. You put anybody in the ring with Rio, and you're gonna
Okay. Fair point. Fair point. I was just about to say that myself. My bad.
Rio's your hero.
So where do you? I'm sorry, Wendy. Do you have any input on where you think Chelsea Green should go next?
No.
I'm still waiting for MLW to restart this women's division they were kicking off before the pandemic.
I mean, that would be cool if several of them ended up there. Like if Green, the Iconics, and maybe I don't know, like if they ended up in MLW and ended up helping them revamp and restart it.
That would be kind of a coup because, you know, there's going to be a lot of obviously women coming out of WWE looking for places. So what better time for MLW to restart a women's division than when there's all these available free agents and you can just pick and choose, and we'll take this one and we'll take that one and we'll take the other one.
I just start snatching them up.
I have to say, I probably loved Chelsea Green the most in Lucha Underground. I can't remember what her name was there, but it has something to do with a spider. I don't remember what it was.
Let's Google it.
But she was like dark and spooky. She was kind of like the bunny, but darker.
She actually had a match with Sami Callihan.
She did. And it was good. It was damn good. She had a match with Pentagon too, I believe. And it was good. So she's probably high up there on like as far as the women's wrestlers who got released, she's probably high up there on my list as like wondering where the hell she's going to end up.
Do we
Do we what?
do we think that, or how about more like how's this for a fucking angle? Penta and Phoenix kick Pac out of Death Triangle and they bring Kalisto in.
Ooh. Ooh, I like it, but at the same time, I'm like, no.
But he wouldn't. Obviously, he wouldn't be Kalisto.
Chelsea,
He'd be. What's up?
Go ahead, Win.
real quick, Chelsea Green and Lucha Underground was Reclusa.
Reclusa, that was it.
Reklusa. Okay, let's go back to Callisto,
Yeah, I like
or
the
as
Callisto
Felipe called him,
idea.
Callisto, el que no está listo.
I like the idea, but if they were gonna do that, I'd almost hope they did that with Laredo Kid and not Kalisto.
Why?
That would be better.
Do you remember that 6-man match where Laredo Kid joined them to take on the Bucks
But
and Kenny Omega? That was some
here's
shit.
the thing, though. You're thinking about the grounded WWE style Kalisto. What about the friggin' the free be a friggin' luchador Kalisto that outside of WWE before he went there? I believe he was actually
You know what
in
he'd be
Lucha
good for?
Underground before he went.
He was,
He
but
was
that's what I was about to say. You know what he'd be good? You know what he'd be great for? Azteca Underground.
that too.
That would be
Yes,
some shit.
agreed.
And I know I keep going back to MLW because it's fresh in my brain. Because yesterday they had announced that they're starting their new season in July. I believe it's July 10th. They're going to be at the 2300 Arena in Philly, and they are bringing back fans,
Yes.
which is all huge news.
AEW is
Huge.
going on the road in July.
And yeah, they are too. And not only that, but MLW got a US TV deal with Vice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Which is exciting.
The plan is not completely set yet, but the idea is somewhere in July, Fusion will move to TV, and Azteca Underground will move to YouTube. And we will
can get with
see
that.
everything, like who El Jefe is, where this temple is, the whole nine. So I am extreme. I don't know if you can see, you guys can see my face, and I know people are going to be watching this on, but people are also going to be listening to this. I'm extremely fucking excited for this because I'm an MLW fan to begin with, and it's gotten pretty good lately, and they're bringing back Azteca Underground. And we all know what that is. And if they end up putting like an hour-long special weekly, at least on a YouTube on their YouTube channel, I'm gonna freak right the hell out.
Like, I'm very excited about their deal with Vice. I was reading though, the reason Vice went for MLW is because they're trying to further expand the wrestling products or the wrestling shows that they have to go along with like the Dark Side of the Moon or Dark Side of the Ring. Sorry,
Pink
of the Ring.
Floyd, huh?
And sorry,
Not exactly.
And like the other wrestling shows that they've had like on the channel. So this is just to add a little bit more to it, and have it be more action based.
Yeah, which makes it makes complete sense because Dark Side of the Ring is one of the best.
You mean Moon?
The Moon.
Dark Side of the Ring is one of the best wrestling shows out there as far as, I don't care if you call them documentaries, investigative dramas, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It is some of the best shit you will ever watch. So
Yes.
to have them with an actual wrestling product to put out there and promote alongside of this, especially like, check this out, and then Dark Side of the Ring premieres after, or after Dark Side of the Ring's over, stick around for Fusion, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It'll put so many eyes on the product, and that's really what you're looking for in the long run. It's no offense to YouTube. Obviously, we all love YouTube. We're on it. But if you get people watching Dark Side of the Ring and then a wrestling show comes on, I'm sure a lot of people that don't watch MLW are going to get exposed to it and probably enjoy it. Yeah. Whereas if you leave them on YouTube, they're just, in that niche audience where people that know them watch them, and that's that.
Because Vice has, besides Dark Side of the Ring, they also have the Wrestlers, which goes around like meeting, essentially telling the stories of various wrestlers in different countries and like the niches that they meet, such as the exoticos in Lucha Libre, that kind of stuff. So it'll definitely, MLW will definitely supplement a lot of the wrestling stuff that they already have.
What is wrong with me today? I forgot about that show too. Like, what the hell is going on with me?
It's okay. I forgot about it too. I had to like do a little Googling.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, I've seen a couple episodes of that show, and it's pretty good too. So for them to actually like have a, wrestling promotion under their wing, it's only going to benefit both sides.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's awesome. I also think it's awesome that they're bringing back crowds. I know I know AEW has talked about going on the road in July, like Brucey said too. So it's nice. It's definitely nice. It's a little bit more of a feel good feeling than like leading into WrestleMania, where they were just talking about packing everybody in. And you were like, ooh, I don't know.
Right.
But you figure come July, people are going to have their shots. Things are going to be a little different. Maybe it feels a little better just looking at it from where we are now. Who knows? 3 months from now could be a different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for where I'm sitting right now, this feels a lot better than when they came out with all the WrestleMania talk and putting everybody in the stands, and it was like we have a vaccine, but hardly anyone's got it. So can we hold off? Nope, we're doing it. Ooh, okay.
Nope, we're doing this.
I even saw reports that
Unless
said,
they're checking people for vaccination cards.
I guess it was possible, but
I mean, we do get little cards when we get vaccinated. So.
yeah, that's true. But I'm sure it was possible. It probably didn't happen though. But there were also reports that a lot of tickets didn't get sold for WrestleMania. That they actually gave a bunch away.
That's true.
Beforehand, because people weren't buying them for that sort of reason. Like, I don't want to go,
Yeah.
and take the risk just for whatever. So, even the public reactions seem to be like, ooh, too soon, homie. No.
Yeah. I'll be honest, even I looking at AEW, even I'm like, ooh, no, makes me uncomfortable seeing all those people. No, thank you.
But yeah, and skipping a topic or two back to WWE free agents. Obviously, Mickie James was one of the women let go. Mm-hmm. Which honestly, if it weren't for WrestleMania weekend, I wouldn't know she was still there. So I was like, oh, Mickey's still there, and a few days later she wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just.
And
suddenly.
I know on an episode we brought up her tweets about when you hit a certain age.
Yep.
People tell you to retire. And at the time, we were saying well, she doesn't necessarily, she couldn't necessarily be talking about WWE. We don't know for sure. And then today, we got this tweet out there, which if you guys can see it, hopefully people
have a follow up on.
Where Mickey literally added Vince McMahon and said, I got my care package with a picture of a trash bag that says Mickey on it. Under the hashtag
ridiculous.
Women's Wrestling Matters.
And then tonight at 8:10 p.m., Triple H tweeted out, upon learning of the disrespectful treatment some of our recently released talent received, on behalf of the company, we took immediate action. The person responsible for this inconsiderate action has been fired and is no longer with WWE.
Wow.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. But now
that's what that tweet was. I see it. Triple H popped up on my phone.
I got you. Yeah, that's what originally when we brought up Mickey's tweets, we were like, well, maybe she wasn't talking about WWE. But then you see this, and you think, maybe she was.
I could see WWE pulling shit like that, though.
I'm definitely... Yeah, I'm definitely more convinced that it was WWE now than I was when we first talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would find it hard to believe that maybe she walked into NWA and talked to William, and he was like, "Oh, you're 40, retire." Because they have women now on the roster that are near that age. I mean, Melina is not much younger than Mickie James, and she's on the roster. Taryn Terrell is on the roster. She's not younger, not by much.
I could definitely see the E doing that, or people at the WWE doing that, and it's because they definitely do have a major set of double standards.
But I had to bring that up because once I saw that tweet, I immediately thought, damn, she really was talking about WWE, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just fucking horrible when you have, especially when you have somebody like Stephanie pushing for a women's revolution, and then you got somebody in the back saying, "Oh, you're 35, retire."
Yeah. But I can see WWE pulling that double standard because if you look at their current roster of women's talent, they're all on the younger side.
Very true.
So-
Very true.
Wendy, don't shoot me for saying this, but it's like I want to reply to this so bad. So this is under the Triple H tweet. Someone posted a picture of Mickey James that says Mickey James is all elite. Just because, that's what wrestling fans do.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That's what we do.
This asshat chimes in. He goes, I can see, but she's going to NWA with her husband. Plus, they have a real championship belt, not some toy. I'm getting ready to chime in and say, yep, that real championship belt is held by an
course they would
AEW
say that.
superstar.
Right?
And that's thumbs.
Did we forget that one little piece of information that real championship is being held by somebody who's on Dynamite, like on an AEW roster, like not an NWA superstar?
Wow, Gail Kim reacted or tweeted back to Mickey James and said, "Is this from your drawer? Do they still do that?"
Okay, so this has been going on for a minute. Is because Gail Kim has not been in WWE for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Like quite a long time. Like beginning of the 21st century, quite a long time.
Can we talk about the gold that is Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston?
Oh, we sure as hell can, because that was beautiful.
Can we talk about the gold?
Go right ahead.
That
I'm gonna let
Wendy-
Brucey carry
Wendy,
the show
you
because he wasn't here.
Are you gonna let me carry the show?
Go right ahead,
okay.
Brucey.
Like
And Wendy, unmute yourself.
it was like I think I said it a couple weeks ago during Dynamite that they're like the best odd couple ever. It's like you've got the crazy asshole over here, and then you've got like the gangster over here. It's like a bad comedy, and you just put these two together, and like, this is gonna
They're
be
like
funny.
They're like
It's like a buddy cop comedy.
I was just about to say they're like the hardcore deathmatch version of like Lethal Weapon or Grumpy Old Men or both, like lethal grumpy old men that are weapons. I don't know, but either way, it's fucking glorious.
Lethal grumpy.
Lethal grumpy old weapons.
and just that segment.
Can you see him in a boat fishing with like explosions behind him and shit? I'm gonna try to make.
What do
this
you mean
photo.
explosions? You mean sparklers?
No, real explosion. That's another topic that I'll be bringing up because somebody asked me like, is this the worst thing you ever saw when it came to that ring? But go ahead, we'll put a pin in that. Go ahead.
Just I don't know, just everything like that's happened. Like last night when they're out there revving the truck and they fucking smashed into the Elite's trailer. Like you know those two crazy assholes were actually inside that truck when that happened. Like they really did that. There was no stunt man doing it like in WWE.
Not at all.
They drove that
was
truck
them.
into that
That was
fucking
all them.
trailer.
That was them.
Eddie was like, "Get in the truck, pussy," none of that.
They're walking away. They're like, "Bitch."
Because you know
when he threw the
bitch
thing and
AF.
Eddie's like, "You wanna wait till I'm out of the way?"
Wow, that was a trip.
Wendy, you froze.
And she froze in the most delightful way too. Because you
Good as much.
Oh, voice is
I can
back.
hear her. It was such a cool effect, though. The way she like, "You wanna." I can hear her, but she's still locked up.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about that, Dom?
Oh my god, that
I hear
whole
Wendy.
that whole ass thing was just beautiful. And then just at the end, just bitch AF. Let's go. Oh my God! And hopefully we'll get Wendy back. I'm sorry, her internet likes to mess with her. Sorry, guys, but but yeah, it was just it's a beautiful thing. I love Mox and Kingston together. They are magical in all the right ways. And yeah, here comes Wendy. Yay!
Good, because she's gonna want to talk about this next part.
She's definitely gonna want to talk about this next part. Let's just let her get in and unmute, and hopefully.
I'm back.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Because you left in the most beautiful way, like in the middle of your thing. All of a sudden, you were just, you wanna...
So we totally didn't hear anything you said about Mox and
It was
Kingston.
cool, though.
I heard you guys, but all I saw was, and I'm like, shit, I froze, didn't I? Yep,
You did.
that happened.
That's the thing. That just happened.
Yep.
So yeah, let's let you get your 2 cents in again.
No, I thought it was hysterical. Like, and yeah, it's definitely like a buddy cop kind of thing. I did love when what's his name, Mox threw the thing into the window, and Kingston's like, "You want to wait till I'm out of the way?"
Right. You want to wait till I get out of the way first? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, come fuck on.
It was great. It was great.
It was that whole "don't be a bitch, homie" moment. Like, you want to wait for me to get the fuck out of the way? Don't be a bitch, homie. Come on. You're all right, aren't you? You know?
So
I've said that to my friends before after doing some dumb shit. Like, you're okay? Yeah. Then shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Right?
So speaking of John Moxley, Wendy,
Yes.
there
Oh,
was a
I know where you're going.
certain run-in that happened at the end of a match that has led up to the signing of a certain match that I would love for you to shed light on.
Oh, I think we all would. I'm excited for it too, but I think we all would
Come
because
on,
it's
Wendy.
Wendy.
I'm so excited.
Let's
I
kick
could
it to our
cry.
host of the WrestleMania Summit and let her go off on this because I gotta see it too.
I could literally cry from the excitement. It will be Nick Gage versus Mox. Just going at it, deathcore style.
In a legit death match.
Yes, yes.
There will be no
And it's-
exploding ring, but it's a legit death match.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And that's gonna be. Oh,
So we know
Mm-hmm.
that on Dark Side of the Ring this season that there's an episode about Nick Gage.
We do?
yes, there is.
We do.
And I saw a clip.
And it's supposed to be narrated by John Moxley.
By Moxley,
I
yeah.
saw a clip
posted
of
it.
Moxley. Is that the one that you
I
posted?
posted it. Yeah,
did.
With
yeah.
the pizza cutter?
She
Yes,
did.
yes.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, that shit.
Of course.
You can check our Facebook group for this, people. Top Rope on
He's
Facebook.
like, Mox is like, did he cut my tongue out? Did he cut my tongue out?
Did you get my tongue?
It's good. It's there. Okay.
I think it's still there.
Oh man, I'm beyond excited. Like
I am too, but yeah. Again, I'm laying back and recovering. I'm letting my co-host carry the show. And Wendy did such a great job with the WrestleMania special. I gotta say it again because I don't think I actually said it on the show. I felt bad, but she killed it.
thank you. I was surprised I did all right.
It was her first time
botch it up
hosting
badly.
ever, and she straight up
I didn't-
killed it. She kept us all in
I didn't
line.
mongo it up.
She gave us all
Didn't
middle
mongo it
names. No, she did. She gave us all middle names. I was Latino by the end of the show. It was great.
Everybody had something.
Everybody had something. I am
It got a little
now.
wild.
My middle name is now Joaquin going forward,
Yes.
which is fine by me because now I have the same initials as my son. So
There you go.
it's just even more for the
works.
Psycho Clan. So we're cool. But yeah, I'm extremely excited for this match too. Obviously, it's going to be a true hardcore match. I think it's part of GCW, right?
Yeah.
Jelly's company?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'd almost forgot again for a minute, but thankfully my brain retained that information. So it's guaranteed to be like ultra violent and
Oh, it's gonna be.
authentic.
Yes.
Because that's what Jelly brings you, and that's what makes Corny mad, and I love all of it.
everything about it.
And by the way, I did catch some flack for saying some shit about Corny a few weeks ago, and I'm just going to reiterate. The same man that bitches today about flips and flops and everything else was in charge of Impact Wrestling in the heyday of the X Division. So think about that for a minute before you come at me. That man is lying to you to take your money. I am telling you the truth for free.
Yep.
There is a huge fucking difference.
Yeah, that is true.
Thank you. I am
Hundo
with the
P,
miss,
son. Hundo P.
and I don't spit bullshit. It's like I said, every time I got shells in my head to say, you got to keep it real. You got to tell people how you feel.
It's true. It's true.
And that's what I'm doing with you right now. I know you might not like to hear it. I know you might come at me on a social media site and tell me, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yes, I do. I've been watching Cornette for a long time. Even Brucey brought at you, how he had the Midnight Express. And they were one of the first high-flying tag
clipping
teams.
their wings.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Shells.
And if he did, he would have been broke and no one would know his name. So maybe, just maybe, Corny is doing this more for him than you.
He is. He's in fucking
Yep.
character. It's full-on gimmick.
People think it's real, man. People are like that dude that you get the clips of with the NWA shirt and the glasses. They're like, it's Corny's still real to me, damn it. He's not, y'all. He's not. We are. We're telling you. I am not a paid anything. This is not a monetized channel. I ain't gonna make a cent for this. I am telling you the truth. Corny, on the other hand.
That's funny. You should say that because as I'm scrolling through the group page, Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook.
I don't even have to do this at the end of the show.
We're helping.
I came across this from our lovely moderator Andrew. Picture of Corny. No, Jim, tell us how you really feel. Oh, how ironic.
See what I'm saying, though?
I was looking for something else, and that's what I run into.
People watch it because he just bitches and moans and spreads his hate, and they like it because they feed off of that. But it's not legit. Like your feelings are legit. His are not. His are so he gets views and money, and yours are just, I don't know what the fuck.
Essentially, yeah.
He's shitting on Matt Riddle.
Well,
Of course he is.
Matt Riddle does deserve to be shit on just a little bit. Like, I'm not saying Corny's all bad. Sometimes even a blind squirrel will find a nut, and Matt Riddle does deserve to be shit on just a itty bitty bit.
Why?
Why?
Because it's Matt Riddle.
Because it's Matt Riddle, speaking out movement, haven't settled the lawsuit yet. There's a lot of reasons. Still on Raw every fucking week. There's a lot of reasons.
Okay.
I'm not saying, like, I like Matt Riddle. I'm just saying there are reasons for him to be shat on. And so if Corny wants to do said shatting, I'm okay with that. It's all the flippity floppity bullshit that he's bitching about, and he was in control of the X Division. Which reminds me, somebody actually asked me if I had seen, to name something worse than the explosion in the Exploding Death Match. And I actually have something from the same time that Corny ran TNA/Impact. Back then, at a pay-per-view, there was a match for the NWA tag titles, pitting Team 3D, aka the Dudleys, against LAX, the original version, Supermex and Homicide. And it was supposed to be in an electrified cage. They did not electrify the cage whatsoever. There were no effects. There were no nothing. You know what they did? They turned the lights way down and they put a spotlight on the ring. And every time somebody touched the cage, they just fake shook, and then they pumped in the sounds of somebody be like the current, like, and the lights flickered. If that ain't worse, if that is not worse than the explosion at the end of that cage match, I don't know what the fuck is. And you know whose mind it came from? The same dude that you watch that was bitching about it not 2 days after, Jim Cornette. Go back and find it. I'll put a clip of it on Top Rope on Facebook.
Please do. I need to see this.
Okay? Go back and watch it. I did because somebody asked me, and I have a vault. So I went back to the early TNA stuff, and I found LAX versus Team 3D in an electrified cage match for the NWA tag titles. And there was not one bit of electrical current. All they did was change the lights, add some 2K noise, and make shit flicker.
You still have a
2K noise.
VCR?
No! I have a server with all this stuff on it. Allegedly.
Hey now. I'm
Allegedly.
making fun of the VCR, all right? I still got mine.
I'm
and all
telling
the
you,
VHS.
Do you? That is awesome.
I do.
One of
I
these
do. We have
days,
two.
one of
We
these
have two,
days when
right?
the red light isn't on, I'm gonna spin this camera around. I'm gonna pull it up for you, and I'm gonna show you everything I got, which is practically everything. I wanted to show Wendy when she
Rachel-
came to take me to surgery, but we didn't have time.
Rachel Ellering returned to Impact. I didn't know that.
Oh,
She'll be teaming with Jordan Grace at Rebellion to challenge for the knockout
So that's
titles.
the
This is why the
TBD.
Impact-
God damn
Okay.
it. She's
Okay,
good,
cool.
too.
Yeah, she's damn good. The last time I saw her, I think wasn't she the one that teamed up with Dasha in the AEW Women's Tag Tournament and lost to maybe Tay and Jay, I think.
Yes. Yes,
I haven't
there
seen her
was.
since, so I'm actually excited for that. I didn't know who we were gonna talk about that, but I didn't know who the TBD was. So thank you, Grandma. That's breaking
Yeah.
news that I needed. So
It literally just came up on my
You.
Insta.
you're good. You. You.
I might.
You.
I
But yeah, I'm sorry. I had to get that out there because it fitted with the corny stuff, and I just get sick of people coming at me. It's like I'm trying to help you.
Help me help
Help
you.
me help you. You too can become
Yeah.
enlightened. You don't need Seth Rollins. Just accept the Psycho as your Messiah, and everything will be okay. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I know. I took it too far. That's what I do. I'm sorry.
That's yeah. We went there, bro. We went there. That
I went
happened,
there.
y'all.
My bad. I'll take it back a little bit. But you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to help you. Accept the help. You still got the Dark Order shit. I ain't throwing it up.
And the nails are purple too.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Right? I'm a lady today.
But yeah, I do kind of feel for Mickey in that
Since when?
situation, and I am kind of hoping it. This is not because Nick Aldis is there, but I think she would fit in with NWA perfectly. Segueing back to all that, with the NWA women's roster, I think the style and everything, she'd fit in there perfectly. There are people there that she's already worked with. So she has chemistry with them. You know, they do things differently. So she would be a nice fit. I'm trying to think of whatever else we fucking have for this show. Forgive me, guys. It's one of those things where, you know, you're kind of rusty. You don't have people together. You got shit going on in the background. But
I think we both.
I think all we
Yeah, there we
I
got
think
it.
all we pretty much have left is the preview of, as I had already mentioned, Rebellion, which is this weekend. It's actually, what, 2 days from now? Because we're recording this on a Thursday, if anybody hasn't figured it out yet. I know I said I was watching Impact, so maybe you could have gotten that. But we're recording this on a Thursday. Rebellion, I believe, is on a Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 24th. And it's actually got a pretty decent card. And now that I know who the TBD is, I kind of want to start here because we have Fire and Flava, which is Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz taking on Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering for the Knockouts tag titles. Let's say, Grandma, who you got in this one?
I'm sorry, what's happening? I got distracted. I was reading about Shock G from Digital Underground. He passed away. Do the Humpty Hump.
Oh, I love that guy.
57.
Dance is your chance to
Do
do
the
that.
hump.
Okay, so since I'm a hip-hop head, I gotta say it. Rest in peace, Shock G and DMX.
There's no further details have been released yet.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
And what was the question? I'm sorry.
I don't even remember now. No. We
Shut
were
up,
gonna
Bruce.
we're gonna start talking about Rebellion. It was the Knockouts tag title match between Kira Hogan and Tasha Steelz taking on Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering, as you brought to us. Who do you think's gonna win this one?
I'm hoping Grace and Ellering win it. Those two are damn good. And Grace should definitely, I think she's overdue for it. So, because how many partners has she gone through for these?
Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she had Jazz, and then I think there was somebody in between. Then she went back to Jazz, and now she's got Rachel.
Yes.
So it's been a few.
Yeah. So I think she
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm with you on that. I'm kind of pulling for the thick mamas in this one over Fire and Flavor. I'm still mad. I'm still mad that Havoc and Nevaeh didn't win it, but then Nevaeh turned on Havoc, so I'm just hoping Havoc kills the bitch. So that being said,
Yes.
thick mamas. Give me the thick mamas. Thickness is my sickness. I'm taking
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Brucey, who you got?
No, I'll take Fire, and I'll take Steels and Hogan
Okay.
to retain.
For a second there, I thought we were all going to
Because
agree
goddamn
again.
it, Jordan Grace
you're
needs
just
to
being
be
spiteful.
going. No, Jordan Grace needs to be wrestling for the Impact Women's Championship. Is what she needs to be
She
doing.
does. She really
She doesn't need to
does.
be in no stupid tag team. She's not a tag team wrestler.
I would agree that she
The
needs to
Hasset.
be in the Knockouts Championship picture, but she needs to be in it after Deonna Purrazzo loses, because those two have gone head up way too many times, and Deonna's won every fucking time, so
That's why this next time they face,
it needs to
it'll
be like
even
somebody
better.
takes it from her and then Jordan Grace.
No, Grace needs to take it from her to end the feud.
Okay,
Yes.
well, we'll agree to disagree on that one, but whatever.
I mean, how many times have we seen Charlotte versus Becky?
This
Too
is
many to count.
And there's still good matches.
This is true, and you are right, because Deonna and Jordan definitely put on that quality kind of a match. So, okay, fair enough. I will give you that one. There is definitely one match that interests the holy hell out of me. In it's
Kenny Omega.
well, we're not getting there yet.
Oh, my
that one
bad.
does too. You're right, but we have like the battle of the bros, basically, between Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Like these two
Myers
going
is
head
gonna
up.
win.
You think Myers?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Bruce.
No, I'm gonna go with Cardona. I don't think Brian Myers is gonna beat him. I think he's still got one eye. I haven't watched Impact much lately. I didn't see him tonight, but
He's gonna pull the Mox.
he gonna pull the eye patch / women's underwear off his eye and okay. Cause I don't get how they go from the eye patch to like looking like they got a thong on sideways. I don't know how that happens, but it happened with Mox. Now it's happened with Myers. Happened with Aleister Black in between. Apparently, it's more comfortable. I don't know.
Don't forget about Rey Mysterio.
Don't forget about Ray. But it was hard to tell what Ray was wearing because he had a mask over it.
Old plastic knees.
It should be an
Wendy's
interesting
second favorite
match.
wrestler.
But this whole card has some interesting matches. Like we are getting a last man standing between Trey Miguel and Sami Callihan.
This match is going to be surprisingly fucking amazing.
Because it already was on Impact a few weeks ago, but wasn't last man standing. It was just a match, and they killed it.
I see.
And
Trey
Sammy has
winning
been
this one.
Sammy has been trolling Trey Miguel since he came back to Impact, and his buddies went and took the NXT tag titles. Like to the point where he went to the wrestling school that Trey's at and helping with, and started beating up students, like kind of like Adam Cole with Johnny Gargano.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely been like personal and heated and twisted. You know, everything you expect from Sami Callihan, but he never lets you down. So, you know. So that being said, I'm probably going to take Sammy in this one. It's going to be a great match, but I'm going to take Sammy anyway.
I'm gonna go with Trey.
Wow. In a last man standing match against the Draw. Whew. That's a bold take. I like it. I like it a lot. I want to see if Wendy's going to be this bold. Because we all know she can be.
I want it to be Sammy, but I don't know, man. You know what? No, I'm gonna stick to my guns today. I'm gonna go with Sammy.
Wow. you guys are like really building the drama with some of these. I like it. Because she was deciding, and I was sitting here like, go on. I hope our viewers are doing that. Okay. It should be a great match, though. That's for damn sure, regardless of the winner.
Regardless of the winner.
All right, we have an 8-man tag match pitting Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, James Storm, and Willie Mack against the members of Violent by Design, which are Eric Young, Diener, Joe Doring, and a new look Rhino, who somehow has this John Rambo look these days. Like he wears a green army jacket and he's let his hair out and kind of coiffed it a little. He honestly looks like John Rambo from the fucking movies, like walking down his driveway trying to get home, you know?
Interesting.
But I like it. I'm not knocking it. It's just different for Rhino, especially. I like it. I just had to point that out because maybe people didn't know. It's kind of cool. But all that being said, we're gonna go back to Grandma Wendy. Do you have Violent by Design, or do you have this mismatch of 4 men on the other side with Beer Guns, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack?
Somebody's playing games with us.
Somebody's playing games with us.
And that would be me. Dun, dun,
But
dun.
I've always been a fan of Willie Mack in general.
Mm-hmm.
I froze.
So I'm gonna lean towards Willie Mack's team.
Okay. I gotta say, I'm loving this whole brainwashing thing that Eric Young's got going. Like, there is no one that man can't turn. Like, he is everything that Seth Rollins was supposed to be on Monday nights. He really is. And I kind of love him for it. For that, I'm going to go with Violent by Design, and we're going to lose Bruce.
We have lost Bruce.
We're getting Bruce back,
He's
thank
back.
God.
He's back.
But yeah, I definitely like Violent by Design. I mean, Joe Doring is a beast, and you know, they got the little Diener, but he's still kind of crazy, and obviously Rhino with this new look is pretty fucking cool. Like, not something you expect from a guy that's been around for 2, almost 3 decades. So, and the way they all fit together is cool. So I'm gonna go Violent by Design. Hopefully, we gave Brucey enough time for his audio to connect so he can make his pick.
Yeah, Violent by Design.
Okay. So we're split again. Big shock. One of us might come out looking really good. Who knows? Let's see. And not yet. Oh man, this guy. As if MJF isn't enough. So next match is a 3-way for the X Division Championship. Ace Austin will be defending against Josh Alexander and TJP. And let's go back to Brucey. Who you got in this one?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Alexander.
That's exactly who I was going to take the walking weapon. He's been damn good on his own in the X Division. He had some great matches with TJP and Ace Austin and Taurus. And he's also got a bit of a size advantage in this one, if you haven't noticed, because TJP and Ace Austin are a little on the Wendy side, and he's not.
Wow.
Fair.
What? It's fair.
It's a fair assessment.
We already discussed on this show that my son was bigger than her, so
It's true. It's true.
it's a fact now. It's out
How
there. I
about
can
Pete?
say it. I'm not insulting her. I love Wendy. She knows that.
And I know my truth. I'm 5 feet. That's my reality.
That's my process. I love her.
Yep.
And that being said, I'm gonna go to my process. Who you got in this one? Oh,
What was it again? I'm sorry.
it was Ace Austin defending the championship against TJP and Josh Alexander.
I say he's retaining. Yeah, he's going to retain his title.
Who is?
Ace Austin.
Ace Austin. Sorry, for some reason I have Austin Aries on the brain, so I had to be like very careful.
Oh
Be like,
yeah, you don't want to mix
"No,
those two up.
No.
I mean, one of them's a little controversial, and the other one you don't want to touch with a 200-foot pole, so you don't want to mix them up.
That's why I was like, no, watch what you're gonna say, Wendy.
Okay, so we're ripping through this card. We've got a few matches left. Where was I? All right, cool.
The Good Brothers.
So we've got the Knockouts Championship match. It's Deonna Purrazzo defending against Tennille Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma, for those that don't know. And if you don't, how do you not know by now, is all I'm saying. But that being said, since we ended with her, let's start with Grandma and say who you got in this Knockouts Championship match.
Oh, Peraza's retaining. Totally.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Virtuosa.
Fuck
Brucey?
no. Dashwood for the win.
Heel
now
tactics.
you're just being spiteful and hateful.
Heel tactics.
Cheap heat.
Cheap heat. Heel tactics. Exactly. All right. So now we get to the Impact Tag Team title match, pitting FinJuice defending their championships against the Good Brothers. And we will start with the high class one, so we can't get the cheap heat. Who you got in this one?
God damn it. Yeah, the Good Brothers with the help of the Young Bucks.
That's not bad. That's not bad. This one's tough for me because I do like FinJuice, and part of me was almost hoping they lost him in New Japan, so maybe like God would come over, but obviously that didn't happen. I like Brucey's point. I'm gonna go with the Good Brothers. I think the Bucks get involved.
I agree. So this one's unanimous.
Holy
Ding, ding.
shit! It finally
No, I
worked.
changed my mind. I changed my
Nah.
mind.
I will mute your mic, you son of a bitch.
It's gonna happen.
Remember how I said it was the whole fucking show? Don't make me prove it. We did it. It's done. Moving on to what Brucey's been talking about the entire time. The title for title match.
Rich Swann.
Rich Swann, the Impact Champion, defending against Kenny Omega with, of course, Don Callis and his oversaturated ass in his corner. Grandma, we're going to start with you. Who do you have walking out with 2 belts?
3.
It'll be 3, yes. Honestly, though, do you really have to ask? We know how I feel about Rich Swann, so I'm going to give it to Kenny Omega no matter what.
Okay. Well, I got to ask anyway. That's kind of the point of the show. I don't want to be like, so just say Kenny Omega and we'll move on. Okay, we're moving on.
Rich Swann could literally be fighting a literal swan, and I'm going to cheer for the swan. That's just how I feel about him.
Okay, I got to admit, I don't feel that strongly against Rich Swann, but I do agree with Grandma Wendy. I think it's almost a given that the cleaner walks out with both those belts.
Nope.
You lying sack of shit.
Don Callis walks out with all 3 titles.
Don Callis is going to swerve Kenny Omega for gold. He's going to be like an old prospector. There's gold in them there hills. Hit Kenny with a chair.
No.
Yep.
No, actually, Moose is going to come out and join it and make it a triple threat and take all 3 titles.
See, this is super.
I'm okay
This
with
is
that.
super cheap
No,
heat. This is like
no,
clearance rack cheap heat.
No. If Moose never wrestled again, I would be a happy man, but I'm going with Kenny Omega.
Okay. So once again, we're unanimous. That's. It's not shocking considering, but it's still a little shocking.
Just a wee bit.
And again, you know, you have those people out there. We've seen them on our social media to say, "Well, how come AEW doesn't promote Impact stuff?" They
did.
ran commercials for Rebellion all up and through Dynamite. You know, the whole time this week. So, you know, maybe you ought to pay a little closer attention. I don't know what to tell you.
But here's the thing. Tony Khan pays for that time slot on Impact. He literally pays for that commercial.
Yes.
I know.
Like,
But
Impact
they're
is
saying
too
like
cheap.
there's a lot of people out there because you've seen. I think you've seen them in the Facebook group and on multiple platforms.
Everywhere.
Saying, you know, oh, well, AEW, they get all these, they go over to Impact, but they don't bring a whole lot of people over, or they don't promote Impact, but Impact promotes them. And they don't realize, like, Impact promotes them because Tony Khan is paying them to. There's a huge difference there. Like, if Anthem was paying AEW, which they probably did for the Rebellion commercials. They'd be running spots too.
Well, here's
And
the
it's
thing.
and it's not like you haven't seen like the Good Brothers on TNT with the Impact Tag Team Championships. Like, I know people might think that this partnership isn't exactly a 50-50 thing, but when you really look at it, you break it down, it kind of is.
These people that get mad over this stuff, those are the same people that think Joey Ryan is not dirty because he changed his gimmick. They're the same people that think women should go work with their husbands in other companies. Those
You
are what
might be
those
right.
assholes are.
You might be right. I don't know if I'd
Yeah,
reach
yeah.
that far, but you might be right. I'm not gonna
Accurate.
I'm not gonna argue it too hard. I'm just gonna say you may be right on that one. It's going to be an interesting show. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's got a hell of a card. I almost want to go as far as to say Hardcore Justice was maybe better than WrestleMania Night 2, but I didn't want to say that on the WrestleMania special. I thought that might be disrespectful, but I can say it now because I'm with my people. And WrestleMania is over, so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
say whatever.
Nanny boo boo, you know.
We can say it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I had to get that in there because that was a damn good show too. And if you missed it, you got to go catch it on Impact Plus. It's a tremendous show. It really was. But that's pretty much everything we got for tonight.
Yes, that is about it.
And even though we've kind of plugged them already throughout the show, why don't we let Brucey give you the social medias anyway, just in case you haven't been paying attention for the last, hour and a half. 45 minutes.
God damn it, Devin.
What did he do now?
He just posted on Twitter, Stone Cold versus Tribal Chief.
And to
Okay.
that, we give you a Stone Cold salute. Where's my beer?
So you can find us on... I'm going to make this as quick and short and sweet as possible. You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We're an openly invite yourself group. You can find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. You can also find us on Instagram at Top_Rope_Wrestling_Talk. Then, if you want to buy our merchandise, you can find us on Facebook at TRWT Merch. Go on there, message the merch maker. She'll give you, prices, stuff like
Options.
that. Options, mugs, hats, shirts, hoodies, masks, whatever you'd like, buttons.
The list goes on.
And you can also find merch on
The gram.
Instagram at TRWT_merch.
He nailed it. He fucking nailed it. Grandma, you want to do this or you want me to do it again?
I can do it.
Okay, you
I
did.
can do it.
Did it.
Right after I share this, the Iron Sheik, my mustache is the greatest on earth. Anyone disagree? Show me, jabroni. Boom! Look at that beautiful stash right there.
All I think
That is
all
beyond debate.
Right.
all I think about whenever Iron Sheik comes up on Twitter is, one, I laugh my ass off, and two, all I can think of is the character on the Young Rock.
Yeah. But even though they're not around anymore, I'm going to do this one last time. What he just put out is not a tweet. That, my friends, is undisputed.
Sure. Agreed. Where you can find us. You can find our podcast on anchor.fm/TRWT. And from there, wherever podcasts are distributed. So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever podcasts are found. And you can also find us on the YouTube under Fox 10 Productions. From there, you can find TRWT. You can also find our others, such as Mutant Rejects, Jerk Upon a Time. These are works in progress. They're a little
And
behind.
these are
compared to
tabled
TRWT.
projects, to be honest.
They're backburnered a little bit.
They've been
but-
backburnered. Like, TRWT is definitely the flagship. We're pumping it out, but yeah, there
Yes,
hasn't
but-
been...
But we'll come back to them.
We'll get back to him eventually.
Yeah.
Drunk Upon a
Yeah.
Time is very fun and doesn't need a lot. Just needs some
Yeah.
alcohol and some laughs. So that's
Yes.
a good show. We've even done a Drunk Upon a Drunk Upon a Top Rope special where,
Yes.
God, we went on forever.
And it was great.
It was wonderful, but it was like 6 hours.
Yeah, it was like 5 ever.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, that was long.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
there was some breaking news or something. Yeah, no, that
It was
was.
like,
I know that was long because I'm the only one that couldn't tap out.
this is true. This is
It was
true.
like, night, y'all.
Everybody else is like, I'm done. And it was like me and a former co-host and Stu for the final few hours, and I was just like, we gotta go.
It's time for bed.
Oh,
Pretty
and
much, yeah.
before we sign off, one more time, congratulations to Stu on pulling the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like wow. That's
was
also
impressive.
things that you can do with people like us at
Pat
Top
and
Rope on
Stan.
Facebook.
Yes.
Stat padding.
Stad pad.
Stat padding.
There you go.
What I said 3 fucking times. Cheaters.
We'll check tape. But anyway, until next week, everybody stay safe out there. Wear your masks. Get shots. Do not be a Loki.
Oh, sure.
And for now, goodbye. Mwah. Grandma.
And stay fresh, cheese bags.
And good night.
Deuces.
Bang.
Means money.
This is Zip Squad, bitch.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.